history. Another limitation of Teflon right now is Teflon exists as a plugin. And I'm sure another plugin can come and unseat Teflon or hook below me and bypass. So ideally, this should be built right into the browser. I was hoping that the new browser standards by Firefox 3 or IE8 or even Chrome, they do something about security. Unfortunately, not much is being done about security. Only new things are things like web slices and mashups and tearaway applications and whatnot. So out of all these browsers, none of them have really thought too much about browser level security. Some future R&D directions. I mean, I've thought about this a lot, and maybe if you can comment as well. Is it possible to detect heap sprays in a process? Like, can we detect if the heap is being sprayed? I mean, somebody was telling me, why don't the browser have a mechanism to see if large amounts of heap memory are being consumed consecutively, raise an alarm and say, oh, there's a heap spray going on, I'm going to stop this. I also noticed that if you look at the heap memory after loading up a page from Flickr, it looks exactly the same. When you have 80 JPEG files being loaded in the browser's heap memory, it looks like a heap spray. And there's no way you can distinguish between real content that is loaded. In fact, theoretically, you can even have JPEG files with large knobsleds and shellcode in them. So what you're seeing on your web page is a bunch of photographs, and each one of them is a knobsled and shellcode. The exploit can jump into one of the JPEG spaces and kill itself as well. It's possible. I just want to put it together for kicks. Here's a photo gallery that will own you without JavaScript. So there's some future directions. Maybe you can have signed JavaScript in Jazz, but I don't think that's going to go anywhere. That's pretty much what I had to share with you guys. There's this time left, so the floor is yours. I'm here. Any questions, any comments or thoughts that you may have, any criticisms, let's have it out. And Jeremiah.
You mentioned some of the limitations of Teflon. Are there any undesirable consequences from running Teflon that might impact the user experience? So, are there any undesirable experiences from Teflon? Teflon does alter stuff. I mean, Teflon right now, kicks in every time your DOM is mutated. So one thing is, yes, it may slow down your JavaScript experience a little bit. I have tested this with Gmail though. I have not noticed a huge performance impact. Sometimes, well, maybe it's because of bandwidth or what, but it's not, you can't feel that Teflon's loaded. But I must say, with Gmail, a couple of things have been broken, like a couple of sidebar things have been broken. This is because probably maybe using some advanced AJAX stuff and mutating the DOM where Teflon rewrote it in some manner. Right now what I'm doing, I'll share with you what I'm doing. I'm hooking all the DOM mutation events, and I'm especially paying attention to eval, document.write, and inner HTML. So whenever these things fire, I take a look. And if anything looks similar to a malicious tag, I rewrite it. So this may break some stuff. It doesn't break things severely, but I do need some JavaScript help. My JavaScript is very poor. I'm sure there's ways to inspect things seamlessly and stitch it together, but right now I'm just doing it in a clumsy manner. So yeah, I'm going to open source this, and contributions to this project are very welcome. Gmail is my test benchmark. My thing is, if it works with Gmail, it's going to work with everything else. Yeah.
So I was curious to understand how Teflon works, because it sounds like you've got some sort of signature that looks for bad behavior, and then you sanitize that, which sounds like antivirus, which you seem to have a rank against. So I want to understand the difference.
Yeah. So, right now Teflon is, it stopped something that you don't want on there. Right now it's in a very simple state. I've right now told it that these are the kind of things that I don't want to see on a web page. I mean, object tags with more than 1000 bytes in a parameter, or embed tags with more than 1000 bytes in a parameter. I'm not super signature based. Like I don't say that block this CLSID or block this CLSID or whatnot. I can, now this is where the implementation part of Teflon comes in, is I want to figure out a nice practical way of not being bound to signatures, but detect that, okay, if these type of tags come in, I just don't want them. Tag types, extension types, or something like a declarative model is, if the website's telling me that no flash, this means no flash, everything else is okay.
Sure, but a bad guy site is just going to say flash is cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, if a website tells me that flash is cool, the website's owned. So,
but
there you are.
the attack's against your machine.
I'm sorry?
I go to
Yeah, you pull up a
CNN.
site like QQQ.cn and tell me that all these malicious tags are okay. I can have something like this, is by default, just don't do this, allow only stuff. I mean, if it's a site like Gmail that I know of, say, obey directives from Gmail. If it's a site that I don't know of at all, just go blank and just have everything turned off. Have every type of a browser syscall, which basically boils down to object, embed, and a couple of other tags. Just don't run them. Only if this site looks cool, let's allow some things on there.
So the user decides
So
if the
the
site's
user
malicious.
decides. User decides.
Is that the right place to put the trust?
What choice do you have?
Okay.
I agree. I mean, I'm in the same debate. Some more thought needs to be put on this, but I'm with you. I want to avoid signatures at every cost.
So the other thing I wanted to discuss about, in the slide before you have, maybe there's a non-executable heap,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to understand what you mean by that.
Dino, you want to go for this explanation?
Vista SP1 made all the pages allocated by a heap, by the JavaScript heap, non-executable, whereas previous operating systems did. So, for instance, the heap sprays basically were loading shellcode directly on the heap of JavaScript.
Right.
On Vista SP1 will not work.
Right. So we turned on DepNX, but like 25 slides ago, you said it didn't work.
I beg your pardon?
So in Internet Explorer on Vista, the DepNX feature is enabled. And it sounds like
If the application says vmalloc, give me pages marked read, write, execute.
Right.
It will be given. And that's the browser thing. Because NX just says basically you must obey the permission for the page.
sure, but in order to validate code or memory, you already have to have arbitrary code execution, right?
No, using a plugin like Markdown and Alex Soder's attacks, basically
Right.
doing the same thing in Java.
So if you've got a vulnerable plugin,
Well, no, not vulnerable. You have a plugin that is insecure.
Okay.
Basically, because it is not careful about how it allocates memory pages.
sure.
But for instance, like allocating a Java class file, it says, well, let's make it read write executable, it doesn't do shit.
Just feels a little strange to me to say like these technologies don't work because people don't opt into them, right? It seems like it'd be more effective to evangelize people using the technologies.
Sure. I mean, if everybody did secure coding, we wouldn't be here.
Sure. Well,
Yeah, no, there are things like this. So I'm saying non-executable heap does exist. I mean, if I haven't played around too much with it, but these things would break heap sprays. This thing would render heap sprays effective. It's not as universal enough. Is all I'm trying to say. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you for your time and attention.